She's, it's like, never, I don't think she knows that it can't be done. It's her answer no. God bless her. Callie, you and her family have been here to church past 5 years, I think it is, 5 years now. There's a lot of behind the scenes I don't even realize, but much less, and I'm the president of the board, you know, and I work with Callie closely, but there's a lot we don't realize how much she does. And I think it goes unsaid quite a bit of the time. But a lot of the reports you're going to see, I think that's just scratches the surface of all Callie does. I mean, she spends immense time as far as not only that, but she's been impetus for the research, for looking for places, for structuring the church, and is a real backbone where, you know, God has blessed us with a lot of good people. And it just keeps happening and happening. And we've had some people move, but God always blesses us with even more talented people. So just to let you know, a little secret about Callie, she does a tremendous amount that we don't even realize. And I probably don't need to, but I just want to say thank you so much, Callie, on behalf of everybody.
Very good. It's a very positive one. If you take a look at the number of stewards from back in and growing. So if you really take a look at that, we are continuing to grow somewhere around 7 stewarding households per year, or 26%. And that's huge for a little town and a very little church that basically is a mission. So thank you all and keep up the good work. Hopefully God will bless us with even more growth in the future. And if you take a look at the stewardship in terms of dollars, we were at $31,000 back in '06, and we finished up 2010 at $100,200. Huge, huge improvement in growth. Again, for such a small community, we are making incredible strides. And if you really kind of put that in perspective, we are growing at that average annual rate of about 33%. So if you were to really look at our budget for this year, so I'm going to step over now. If you take a look at what we projected, we said 55 stewarding households this year. But on average, we've been growing at the rate of about 7 per year. So we have been very conservative to say we're only going to plan in 5 stewarding households, and we're only going to plan in $95,500 for stewardship. So when we build our budget and we put together numbers, we are extremely conservative, and we try not to predict or expect something we cannot achieve. So if you really look at the prior year, 2010, we brought the number down because last year we had a very large anonymous donation of $20,000. We said we're not going to plan that that's going to happen again. It may not happen again. So what we'll do is we'll plan in maybe half of that happening again, because we generally are blessed every year with a significant amount in terms of anonymous donations. But so what I'm trying to say is, for this year, we brought the number down, but ideally, based on history and our pattern, we're probably going to far exceed this number, both in terms of dollars and number of stewards. So now let's take a look at, if we break down the numbers to income and expense. The green bars are showing you the stewardship numbers, which we just saw earlier. The blue segment is identifying all of the fundraising we do. And that's the biggest piece, but there also is general funds in there, so when the tray comes around on Sundays, the candle tray is in there, you've got bookstore. So there's a lot of components that make up this other income area. But the important point is that the green bar is growing much higher and the blue bar is dropping off. That means that our stewardship is growing, which is really the consistency and the continuity we need to grow this church needs to be coming from stewardship. And our fundraising is something we do, but we cannot rely on that to actually run the church. So that's a very good story. Stewardship is growing and our fundraising is staying relatively flat. Now, if you take a look at our expenses, we are doing an extremely good job at managing those expenses. You do see an incline here in 2008 and again in 2009, but what you need to know about those years is we brought out a full-time priest. So we've got pretty significant clergy expenses in there. We've got a facility now, so there's some significant facility expenses in there. So as we're growing, we are seeing these numbers rise, but we're doing it at a steady pace now that we're in this facility and moving forward. And if you take a look at the best story about this whole slide, is this bottom line, net income. You can see that in '07, we had a net income of $27,000, '08, $2,000, '09, $14,000, and last year, $6,000. That's incredible. In this economy, in this day and time, and with everything that's going on and with a small community, we are finishing out every year with a net income. So again, we are being very conservative in planning the future. We basically have planned this year to break even. But based on our history, the odds are we're going to exceed that and actually have a net income again. So all of this is basically telling us that we are poised for growth. We're doing a good job at managing our expenses, and everyone is stepping up and really helping us grow this church. Okay, thank you.